Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Twisted Kid. I am Jason Emmett,
I'm Casey Masterpiece.
And I'm Twisted Kid Matt.
the guy who the show is named after. Or are you named after the show? I think it's a little bit of that.
It's a mix.
It's a mixtape, is what it is.
Oh,
Hey, so we are back again to disturb your brains like we love to do here on this show. I think last time we talked about it, I think the last episode we did as a trio was Gremlins 2, so go check that out. It's somewhere down there. You can go down and check out Gremlins 2. And I think we told you on that episode we were coming back with Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 5, The Toymaker. And that's what we're here to talk about tonight, is Silent Night, Deadly Night 5.
perfect timing.
I'm trying to, sneak in the slide whistle as much as I can without you guys seeing me.
Without us seeing it.
When he's off camera.
Just like a certain mannequin in this movie.
Yeah, he's trying to slip in
At
the
least
slide
I
whistle
have
when
the
nobody's
slide
looking.
whistle.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, spoilers.
If you haven't seen this movie from 1991.
Oof, then, you know
what
what?
movie is it we're talking about?
Silent Night, Deadly Night 5,
This one right here.
The Toymaker.
Yeah. Just like they're in the room. Do it with the slide whistle, Kevin.
All right.
I don't know. So
He's
we are
always so close to the microphone.
we are here to talk about Silent Night, Deadly Night 5. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the fact that Kevin got mixed up and watched Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, and then had to turn around and watch 5. So he was probably very confused because he skipped 3 and 4. So there's no way he could have known what was
I'm
going on.
completely lost.
Kevin, part 2. I will vote for part 2 in the future. We'll do it so we can discuss.
So since you've already watched it, yeah. Here's the thing about
that's
this
all right.
series. To the best of my knowledge,
no, we don't need to.
to the best of my knowledge on the series, you don't have to watch. Maybe you have to watch the first one to watch the second one. You don't have to have watched any of them to watch part 5. It's a standalone.
I was actually kind of wondering about that because there was a lot of shit that didn't make a lot of sense, but that just could be.
I just thought it was the movie
part
didn't
5 of a
make
weird
any
series.
sense.
Yeah.
The first thing Matt and I agreed on is this movie is horrible, but in a really fun way. Like I had a blast watching it, but it's just not good.
It's not good at all.
No. So let's talk about this. This movie came out in 1991. It was directed by Martin Kit Rosser. It stars Mickey Rooney, and that's pretty funny if you know because Mickey Rooney had actually condemned the original movie. He had talked about how bad it was.
Really?
Yeah. So then he ends up being in this one. It also stars William Thorne, Jane Higginson, and Brian Bremer. So I'd said back on the Gremlins 2 episode that I'd never seen this before. I had. I just totally forgot. I just totally mentally.
things out.
You just thought it was a fever dream.
I blocked it out mentally. So, all right. So let's discuss the plot of this movie as much as one goes.
The plot. Sure.
The plot, yeah. So Mickey
More
Rooney.
like the plops.
Mickey Rooney plays. What's happening? Let's just start at the beginning. This movie starts off, right out of the gate, right? Right out of the gate, we get the first toy killing, Tom and the Pokeball Santa, as I like to call it. So I'm really curious about this scene because this really throws me off.
Gotta catch 'em all.
So was it intended to kill him? Or was it intended
going after the
kid, right? And
well, the package was addressed to Derek.
was it to the kid?
Yeah.
That's just fucked up.
And it said, "Do not open till Christmas."
It's fucked up.
Which, if you want to bump the kid off, why wait till Christmas? Just be like, "Hey, I got you a present.
I guess
Open this up."
now that you guys say
don't
that,
wait till like New Year's.
just
do it now.
Do it now.
Pass it on.
Yeah.
And now that you
Friends
guys
are still going to be on the package either way.
now that you guys say it though, I think
But
later in the movie we do find out why.
Have fingerprints.
No, he doesn't have fingers.
A lot of things.
But they do at first. I think later in the movie we get somewhat of a plot as to why why they're trying to knock off the kid, right?
Yeah, like literally the last 10 minutes of the movie. It's like, this is why, and
so
we'll get to that.
It's intended to kill the kid, but there's this whole strangling and unfortunate fire poker landing thing. Like, that's pretty. It's pretty disturbing to know that thing was just meant to strangle that kid to death. That's pretty disturbing.
And then retract the arms like nothing happened. So
So we go on a little bit to the next scene or whatever, and I'm going to jump just a little bit here, but did you guys notice that the kid was watching a Rambo cartoon? The like Rambo cartoon? I was like, oh, sweet, yeah. We talk a lot on other show about cartoons that were made from R-rated movies and how this was a thing through like 80s and 90s, and it made no sense to me. It's like...
Yeah, the Toxic Crusaders.
Police Academy, RoboCop. And violent ones at that. So
Cannibal Holocaust.
So the mom straight slaps. That would be a great cartoon. It took me a second, man.
I just wanted to let you know. I was like, there is no Cannibal Holocaust.
No, that doesn't the cartoon. It will now, but it didn't exist before. So the mom straight slaps this kid's hand like hard, which. All of this seems really weird to me because he just watched his, and I'm giving my notes per movie. He just watched his dad die. Like I didn't know who it was, but just a couple days ago, it felt like this kid just watched his dad get. I thought it was his dad strangled, and
hold on. He first watched his dad get it on with his mom,
like you said earlier, railing
wow his mom.
Yeah.
Then he watched him
immediately
die.
after. He's like, "Oh, this is what happens when sex occurs. Oh my god!" I mean, it was like you get a fire poker through the face. Yeah.
Well, we don't know either. At this scene, we're like, how much? Has it only been a couple of days? Like it just jumps. Like we don't really know. Right. And the mom seems totally okay with this dude being impaled in her living room. Like she's moved on. It's
like,
fine.
You gotta worry about my kid.
It is. Time to get a new stepdad.
I think we find out later that it's been 2 weeks, but still, like 2 weeks, really. So 2 weeks.
Dude, I've known people who they're traumatized years after. It was like, well, you don't just have somebody get a Pokeball Santa and a fire poker to the face, and then just walk away. Like, oh, this is totally fine.
Fucked me up when I watched it.
My kid's not completely screwed up for life now.
It screwed me up when I saw it happen. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, after watching Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, I kind of noticed a pattern. Yeah. I kind of noticed a pattern with the child trauma.
Yeah.
I mean, with 2, it involves Santa Claus straight up. Yeah. But with this one, it involves presents from Santa. So all works out. Circle.
So I want to circle back around to this one little bit. I don't want to talk about it here because I want to go with the plot of the movie. But at this point,
have fun with that because there is no plot.
But at this point in the movie, all we get is one scene of Tom like being kind of a dick to a kid that kind of walked in on him having sex anyway. So like they never really establish. I guess we're supposed to hate Tom. But I
mean, he's just kind of a dick,
Yeah, I guess they sort of tell us that later.
Tom had a point there. I mean, this kid was up and about in the middle of the night, about to open the door to a stranger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
True.
That's what I'm saying. I guess they just want us later to believe that Tom was a dick and deserved it. But let's move forward, and we'll talk about that when it comes up in a second. Because at this point in the movie, we don't know what's going on. Like we have no clue. So. We mentioned Joe Petto, and he has a kid, right? And how cliche. Let's put the creepy kid in a black leather jacket. That's not hitting the nail right on the nose. But we find out that his name, and we can't make this shit up, is Pino, as in Pinocchio. It's like somebody thought that was some clever ass writing. Joe Petto and Pino. I'm like, he's named after wine.
Connie actually asked me that. She's like, "Is this about Pinocchio or wine?" I was like,
Noir.
Yeah.
No, he's named after the part that's missing on him.
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there too. Anyway, I want to say our I can't think of his name. What's the main good guy's name? Right? What is his name in this?
Good guy?
Yeah, you know what I mean. The kid's real dad that we find. I don't know his.
real... spoiler! It's his real dad. As we find out in the last 5 minutes.
Spoiled this for you guys.
Real dad's pretty damn creepy, in my opinion.
Anyway, I just want to say. So he's stalking, right? That's all we know at this point. This dude is stalking this kid and this mom. We don't know why. At this point in the movie, we have no idea. I just want to say this.
And at the end of the movie, we still have no idea.
He straight gets his landlord murdered because
Here, take this larva and put it in your car.
They give him the toy. They give him the toy, right? And he just gives it to him just to like, here, just fucking take this. He gets him killed, and this guy,
in lieu of rent.
all this dude did wrong. All this dude did wrong right here was ask for his money. That was
literally
pretty much
that he probably
I'll
deserved.
admit he could have given him at least a day, but still, that was a little rough.
So I will say this scene looked really good. So we get Larry the larva. It squirms into this guy's mouth and out his eyeball hole. It looks really good, but there wasn't a drop of blood. Blood. None whatsoever.
It cauterized the wounds as it was making them.
I do want to say, though, that some of the effects in this movie were pretty decent. Some were horrible, but some were overall...
Some were awful, yeah.
But some were really good.
The Pinot reveal, which we'll get to later...
I thought that
suit was pretty impressive.
I thought so, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
which side note, they go into that in the bonus features, but
what, his suit?
You guys didn't watch the.
We didn't.
You guys didn't watch the bonus features.
So we should probably establish Tubi. That. Yeah, Kev and I watched this on Tubi. Matt went out and bought the Blu-ray.
Yeah. Not only of part 5,
all of them. Yeah.
3, 4, and 5 on it. I still need 1 and 2 to complete the series.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get
them. You know what has 1 through 5? That's Tubi.
They're all on there. You can just watch them on there. To be fair,
for free.
So you want to add a little? You want to add a little dash of creepiness to a movie? Just put a cameo by Clint Howard in it, and you're good.
Yeah.
So we have.
That really helps.
We have
fan of the show, Clint Howard.
We have fan of the show, Clint Howard. We have a cameo by Clint Howard, and I've got to ask you guys: the Santa Claus scene, was this uncomfortable for you guys at all? The mall Santa scene thing.
Most mall Santas are,
but in this movie, the scene was
this one. No, don't take him. It's like, why? This is my child. You know, I'm taking him back.
Yeah, that was creepy as hell.
Right?
Yeah, she should have pressed charges.
Yes. Yeah. This scene was.
He can't say anything anyway. By the way, we haven't mentioned the fact that the kid's so traumatized.
He can't talk. Yeah, he's not
so
speaking.
He can.
Anymore.
He chooses not to.
Yeah, maybe because
which is good because I really don't want to hear him.
Maybe because he saw his present, the Pokeball.
Little bastard.
He saw his present, the Pokeball, kill his stepfather. The whole movie just.
That look on his face.
Turns out in the original script he was supposed to talk, but they realized really quick he couldn't act, so they were just like,
"It's bad.
He's traumatized."
You know what? They just like rip up the script in front of him. Just stand over there.
Yeah.
Just look upset. And you're like, "Oh no, that's just your normal."
That's
face,
just your face. That's fine.
Yeah. Just stand in the corner, you little dullard.
A little dullard.
Who here hoped that he was actually dead when the mom walked in and he's laying on the floor, just listening to his headphones? Just like, man. Oh,
we like to kill mogwais and small children on this show. So then we get this scene that is awesome. Joe Petto just lays into Pino and he beats him senseless. We get the craziest looking Mickey Rooney of all time. He beats Pino senseless, maybe even lifeless. But
if anybody wants to screenshot this and make it their phone background, go for it.
Like an old garbage pail kid.
I want to say something, though, about this scene, man. It looks like Mickey Rooney could throw hands. He's straight brawling in this scene, man. And I'm like, holy shit, you don't want to be pissing off Mickey Rooney because he is tearing some shit up.
I've heard a lot of real creepy stories about Mickey Rooney over the years from a lot of different celebrities. So, I mean, you could probably take him down in a fight, but, you know.
I don't know, man. I think he could throw some hands. I saw it.
Well, he's a short dude, and short dudes are kind of crafty.
Yeah, we are.
You got the low center of gravity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mickey Rooney versus Danny DeVito in a fist fight to the death.
Ooh,
fan of the show, Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta get him at the same age range too.
Yeah. Mickey Rooney's dead, right?
Yeah.
Zombie Rooney.
Zombie
Mickey Rooney.
So, was anybody confused? So, this whole time though, he beats the shit out of Pino, but Pino's not real.
Spoiler as well. Yeah.
So
okay, you programmed him first off, or did he?
Also, you're straight.
Question. Who made Pino?
You're straight beating up a robot.
The toys in that toy store were shit. Those were some garbage.
But Pino was making those toys.
Comes out
right.
Okay.
Wasn't Pino doing some of that? Yeah, he was. I don't get it. No. And he's punching a freaking robot. Like it just seems like I don't know.
Wouldn't that hurt?
Assuming he knows that it's a robot.
I mean, I assume he built him, but I don't.
Maybe.
So
we've never established that.
So at this point,
this movie has so many unanswered questions.
We have to talk about the introduction of a couple of characters that are just straight cannon fodder. The first is Lonnie. So we know that
who's apparently in his mid-30s.
And then we get Meredith and Buck, right? So Meredith comes over to she's going to babysit, and she brings her boyfriend Buck in. This is an awkward moment for everybody. First of all, they're getting nasty on this kid's twin bed with their underwear still on. Right? They never.
By the way, her name's Meredith. So
this is Lonnie.
This is Lonnie.
I hit the wrong button there, but
yeah, that's not Meredith.
No, that's not Meredith. No, so Meredith and Buck. Lonnie comes over. There's another gift gets delivered. This one is rollerblades. Lonnie, they throw them in the garbage. Right? Lonnie takes them out of the garbage, and he steals them, and flames shoot out of them.
Yeah, which at first is like sick rollerblades. Mm-hmm. Like that's awesome.
I really want
with those Zubas.
The Zuba pants.
Right.
But then
probably highly flammable polyester pants.
So Lonnie, Meredith, and Buck, these guys are just cannon fodder, right? There's no other reason for them to be in this movie but to have more kills.
Severely hurt or just straight up die.
So this car thingy attacks Buck, and to me they miss a huge opportunity. There's no decapitation scene. Like it's got two saw blades. Remember the hand that like crawls up his leg and shit?
Yeah. And not just his leg. He totally gets his butthole fingered.
So this
totally. Imagine the thing from the Addams family just getting his freak on.
So we totally thought he was going to get his head cut off, and he doesn't. Like does not decapitate him.
Kind of a tease there.
And then she gets shot in the chest by like a little toy soldier guy, right? Or no, it's a tank. It's a tank.
Yeah, it was a tank. It was like a platoon of toy soldiers.
Yeah. There's like the one crawling across the floor and everything. Mm-hmm. So then the mom gets home, and
which, by the way, they all appear to have been placed there by Joe Petto.
Yeah, was it Joe or
we find out later on? No. We find out later. It could have been Pino.
Yeah, it's just very confusing. Probably. And they kidnapped the kid. Meanwhile, all this is going on. This is when the mom is now.
Definitely Pino.
This is when the mom is now out banging her ex, who the kid really belongs to, and that's the guy that's been stalking him the whole time.
So why did they separate in the first place? I mean, I'm pretty sure the mom had some damn good reasons.
Spoiler.
By that.
All the buttons.
There's a few technical difficulties going on in the background. So this is where we find the plot. He's stalking them because he's checking on his own son. Although he doesn't know he's his son, right? He kind of suspects, or does he? I don't fucking know.
If you suspect, but you're not sure, why are you going to all these fucking links? Yeah. Like, I'm going to dress up as a mall Santa, which seems to have been his actual job. But then, like, I'm going to dress up as a mall Santa and then make sure that he sits on my lap.
It's so creepy.
Make sure.
So now she's banging him in a car.
Shift with Clint Howard.
We really need to. It's been 2 weeks, guys.
Yeah.
Dude died tragically 2 weeks ago. And what did she think happened? He was just walking through the living room and tripped, and the fire poker went through his eye. Like,
yeah. Like, while also being choked by a tiny Santa.
Yeah, but she didn't see that. Only the kid sees the Santa toy.
Right. An autopsy would clearly show.
Matt,
something went around this.
Matt, now you're just using logic.
I know, right?
Let's throw that out the window,
like,
man.
No autopsy. We know what happened. Fire poker through the eye.
Right through the eye.
No fingerprints.
Nobody thinks it could have been anybody in the house. It was obviously an accident.
Why would you suspect a robot boy?
So here's my next question. The mom gets home, right? With her son's been kidnapped. She gets home. Meredith How did Meredith survive? How did she live? How is she still alive? But not only is she alive,
there was a lot of blood coming out of her chest. It was
like it was a straight up hole.
I thought she was dead when they shot her, but apparently she is not.
That's what I thought.
She is not.
Yeah, let's
again. So like I said, let's watch
button
this
is it
again. So you're gonna see
fuck the clips.
You're going to see. So, okay, we don't know how she lived. I mentioned this earlier with the whole Tom thing. Like I said, we find out that the stalker is actually the kid's dad. But Tom, they gave this guy zero character development, and we're just supposed to think he's an asshole and he deserved to die. But, like, there's no development. There's no, like, oh, he was abused. She doesn't say, like, he was a dick, he was abusive. She basically says, I married him because I needed some stability. I needed help, so I married this dude. We never get, like, but he was abusive to me and he hated the kid. Like, so it's like,
right.
He was stable.
Yeah.
Okay. And clearly you weren't, because you moved on real quick.
Real fast. Like you banging in 2 weeks in the car garage, parking garage.
In a Geo Metro. No, GMC Jimmy. It was a GMC Jimmy.
I like Geo Metro better. So now is the thing that Matt talked about earlier. Here comes our twist, right? It turns out the real killer is Pino, and Pino is a robot.
Look at that hairline that says robot all the way.
Yeah. How did his hair suddenly change from earlier?
Prosthetics.
No, I think it's because, like, okay, so I think we're supposed to believe that when Mickey Rooney beats the shit out of him, he does so much damage that he had to kind of like swap bodies because now he's got plastic hair. He didn't have plastic hair earlier.
No, he didn't.
It's very weird.
He did not. Yeah.
So this is when we get a
real hair,
plastic Pino.
Real hair. Plastic Pino. It's amazing how I know which two clips these are.
Like, I think you can buy plastic Pinos at the store, the adult stores.
Right.
You know, going to get a plastic Pino. So
that's how you look after.
So now we get the creepiest scene in the movie. We get the weird hump, no genitalia, Pino robot
scene.
Let's watch this again. He grabs her and throws her up on the thing. There's some groping. He's trying to hump her the whole time, and he's what's he yelling, Matt?
Mommy, you're my mommy.
You're my mommy.
Yeah. I can be your son. This is what sons do. No, they fucking don't.
No.
It's
most of the
weird.
time they don't. I'm sure there's parts of the internet where that's normal, but not in Silent Night.
Not in Silent Night, Deadly Night 5. So
I mean, she did move on, but she didn't move on fast enough to have sex with a robot boy with no genitals.
I mean, if she wouldn't have just gotten laid earlier that night, maybe she would have thought about it.
In a Santa bag.
Yes. Yeah. And this is when we find out
GMC Jimmy or a Geo Metro. Get out of here, Pino. You Pinophile.
You Pinoless creation.
Should she say no Pino?
No Pino.
No Pino.
So this is
Sauvignon Blanc.
This is where we get the plot of the movie, right? Pino wants to be a real boy, so he's trying to kill.
By the way, last 10 minutes of the movie right here, by the way.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's when you find out what has been going on. The big reveal, save for the final scene of the movie, really.
Well, here's the thing. So, yeah, the face gets pulled off, and we find out, like he's a robot underneath. And this is what I mean. I thought these effects were decent. Like, these are pretty good effects.
Rotoscoping in the static and all that.
Yeah, I thought it looked pretty good, you know.
It's not bad.
Pino's costume wasn't half bad. I mean, he was definitely way bulkier than he had been earlier in the movie, but hey.
Yeah.
But again, are we supposed to believe that when he gets the shit beat out of him and thrown down the stairs or whatever, that it just did damage and he had to like transfer into this other body? Because we see like other like body part things hanging in the room, right? So
yeah, you take a little of that, a little of that, and a little of that. And that's how you make Pino.
I totally believe that the other body parts were like used as sex dolls for Mr. Pedo.
See, now you made his name creepy again. Mr. Pedo.
Come on, Mr. Pedo.
I think he lived down the street. Mr. Pedo.
Mr. Pedo.
Don't go to the old pedo
Dude,
house.
if that was your name, you fucking change it, right?
you kind of have to.
It's like, what's your last name? Pedo.
You can't live within 2 miles of a school.
Peto.
It's pronounced Pito.
Yeah, Pedo. Anything other than pedo.
Pedo.
So that's my notes, except for one thing.
Speaking of robots, Kevin just turned into one again.
That is my notes, except for one thing. I have one question for you guys. Did fucking Lonnie make it? Like, is Lonnie still alive? Did he fucking die?
Warning. The joke just uttered by one of the hosts was in direct violation of the Good Joke Code of Conduct and thus was stricken from the episode.
And now we're back for like the 5th time.
Had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call it. Technically, we had
to cut something out.
Technically, one of us. We won't name who, but one of us. Yeah, we can inappropriate something. Actually, this was an accidental.
This time it wasn't me.
But this was an accidental inappropriateness. Yeah. But all I want to tell you guys is on our end, shit was funny.
It's very funny.
You guys aren't. You don't get to know it. Nope.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know, the best part is they're at home going, "What the fuck did they say?" Yeah. It was all accidental. It was a whole wrong character thing, but it was worth it on our end because my face is beat red, man. I had a good time with that, guys. All right, so that's this movie, man. In a nutshell, it's bad, but in a fun kind of way. Yeah, I mean it's enjoyable. This is you could totally get together with a group of your friends one night and watch this movie and just fucking rip it to shreds while you're having a good time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like it is cheesy. Some of the effects are good. Some of the effects are bad. Some of the acting's good. Some of the acting's bad. Like, there are characters that are thrown in just to get murdered, you know, but...
A couple of them. The landlord.
Yeah.
Landlord.
And Meredith and Buck. They just killed them. Just like they, you know.
There's no point of them being
Did you guys think... So her friend Lonnie's mom, were you like waiting for something to happen to her too?
Yeah.
I was thinking, that
somebody's got to be there to take care of Lonnie now.
Oh, I guess we should. Yeah, well, if he, you know, we don't know what happened to Lonnie. So we didn't mention. I think the kid like speaks at the end, right? He finally starts.
The first thing out of his
again.
mouth is, "Who the fuck is this guy? He's been following us around this whole time."
You're not my fucking dad. I saw him die.
Legitimately, like, who the fuck is
my fucking dad? Got a fire poker to the face. Who are you?
Yeah. It's like, this is. It's like I need to say something right now. It's like you've been silent the entire movie. Thankfully,
it was a silent night, Matt.
It was. Yeah, but it was also a deadly night.
It was. You're right. You got me there.
But it was the 5th one.
Wouldn't it be great if this movie ended with the kid looking at the camera and going, "God bless us, everyone." That's the only thing he said through the whole damn movie.
Just Tiny Tim.
Oh, God. So there you go. I think you guys both agree. Like, this was bad, but in a fun way. You had a good time watching it. Like, you're going, oh, God. And honestly, shockingly enough, for the death in this movie, it's, aside from the scene with Meredith getting shot, like, even the scene with Buck isn't that bloody. Like,
no.
Like I said, they could have decapitated him. We never saw it.
I was totally waiting for the decapitation.
Yeah, and to see the head later or something. We never saw any of that. So
there is a severed head at one point, but it turns out it's a mask.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
By the way, whose first instinct when they see a severed head is to squish it?
Mine. Okay. I'll squish your head. Don't mind me. I'm just squishing your head.
Squishing your head.
So yeah, I mean, it was enjoyable in the bad kind of movie way. So I do recommend it if you're into that kind of stuff. It's fun. I'm sure some of you out there have watched it. We'd love to hear your thoughts on stuff. You can comment down below. We've gotten a couple comments on some of the past videos. All our videos are down there. Go out and check them out, man. You got more of this geeky goodness if you enjoy this kind of thing.
And all these are going to be put into playlists as well.
And again, this movie's free on Tubi if you want to check it out.
Free on
Or
Tubi.
the rest of the Silent Night, Deadly Night series.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you want to go to Walmart and buy the Blu-ray box.
You can do that too.
You can do that as well.
I mean, support, you know.
Should
support.
you choose.
Support.
Or if you're not Mr. Moneybanks down there, all right, you can just watch it on
Moneybanks.
La-di-da.
Hoity-toity. I bought the Blu-ray.
All the Silent Night, Deadly Night
It's 2023 and I still buy Blu-ray.
Yeah, with Mr. Bezos, Mr. Billionaire.
Guys, if you guys enjoyed this movie, or maybe you have some recommendations for movies that you would like us to do this with, you can write us, man. We actually have another show. We do the Mixtape Podcast. It's available anywhere you listen to podcasts, so please go over and check that out. We talk a lot of 80s and 90s music mostly. We save most of our
by scanning that too.
Yeah, you can scan that QR over there and get to the show. And we're available most places you can get your podcast. But we have an email, so you can feel free to drop us an email and let us know. It's yourmixtapepodcast@gmail.com. Let us know if there's any movies you think that we should watch or something. We would love to do that. Or give us your thoughts on this one as well. Hey, one more thing. We actually have a sponsor, and it'd be great if you guys could maybe check out said sponsor. It is bustedtees.com. If you head over to bustedtees.com and buy a cool t-shirt over there or something, we have a promo code.
And here's how you go to get that.
Listening to the Mixtape Podcast makes you a total badass. Now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
So there you go. If you can go over and check that out and buy a t-shirt, get a cool discount, that would be awesome too. And they got some great shit over there, so go check that out as well. Next up in the roulette wheel kind of thing, I think, is Twisted Kid Matt down there. He gets to pick the next movie. Do you know what the movie's going to be? Have you picked one yet?
I haven't settled on one, but my instinct, my gut tells me to go with the peanut butter solution. That's what my gut's telling me.
That's painful. I think we should do it because I don't think KC has ever seen the peanut butter solution.
I've heard tales of it.
And we talk about it and reference it so much that I feel like he needs to see this.
Subscribe.
So when we do the episode, we will talk about the fact that, in a way, the peanut butter solution and one other movie that we've done an audio version of on the podcast, which is Fuzz Bucket, those were the two things that actually began Twisted Kid. So I think the peanut butter solution is an excellent choice. So guys, if you want to go check that out and be prepared for our next episode, that'll probably come out in a few weeks. In the meantime, we have more of the Very Twisted episodes planned, so you guys can watch those. We have some other fun stuff planned. There'll be more Rewind toys here on the site if you're into toys and stuff. So please stick around and do us a huge favor, man. Huge favor. Subscribe. Go down there and subscribe. Click
comment.
Do
all the things.
Click the subscribe and the bell and all that good stuff, and share this with your friends. We really appreciate everybody coming over and watching.
Yeah.
Matt, do you, Kev, do you guys, either of you have anything before we close this bad boy out? Go watch Silent Night, Deadly Night 5.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
You guys are both of us at the same time.
Yeah. Nothing. Well, again, we thank all you guys for watching, as is always the case. And I'm going to let Matt take over from here.
I guess we're gonna let him talk. Grumble.
Sounded like
the Hamburglar down there amongst us. What's going on?
It sounded like the aliens from Mars Attacks. Oh God, this is good.
Shit.
It's gold.
Every time we try to close the show out, something happens. Oh, geez. Hey, everybody. Twisted Kid Matt here. Telling you to always stay awesome. And just like us, you too are a Twisted Kid. And cut. Well, now I got to leave that in.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Check us out on Facebook at Tapeworms, fans of the Mixtape Podcast. We are on Twitter, Mastodon, and Instagram. Please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Remember, just like these morons, you too are a Twisted Kid.